Okay, so we will be reviewing steps to record, pause, stop. We'll show you how to test your audio and visual setup. We will, walk through recommended lighting and sound fixes, and review the process for slide sharing, which is sometimes the most important part, right? Especially if you have those multiple presenters, and we'll talk through that. And then also just a note, if you do, after this, decide that you'd rather record via a different platform, by all means, you can. Just keep in mind that we do need that MP4 file, and it should not exceed 2048 megabytes. And if it does, you just have to convert it to a smaller file. Zoom recordings tend to always be under that. They just usually use a low resolution file, and that's why they can produce so many recordings over and over again. Okay. And if you're just joining now, welcome. You haven't missed anything yet. We're gonna get to the good stuff here in a moment, and then we will have time for questions at the end. So I do have an example video here, and just first things first, before you get a blow up before your presentation, or you care too much about your background. I once had someone call me and test their books in the background if they're perfectly placed behind them. We really can't see too much of your background. So here's an example of just a screenshot of the video that you'll see. So you can see we're a really small thumbnail in the corner, and you really can't tell too much about the background. So by all means, don't fret too much. Okay, so now we're going to get into familiarizing yourself with the Zoom dashboard. You may all already see this at the bottom of your screen, or you don't see it because you're not a host. When you create your own Zoom account, you will see all of these buttons as a host or a co-host. If you are recording with NHBCO staff, we will make you a co-host at the very beginning so that you see everything. Okay, so first we're going to go over the mute button. This is just important if you want to connect a microphone or your headset. You can use the microphone from your computer. However, it does pick up more background noise. So you can see here, you want to click, like for instance, I have AirPods in, and you want to make sure that your headset is connected with your speaker and then also with your microphone. Just helps sound. And that is obviously by the farthest to the left button, which is always called mute, but it's really just your microphone. Okay, next is the video camera feature. We do want you to share your camera. It does tend to be more engaging if we can see you. We do highly discourage the use of virtual backgrounds because they use a lot of internet bandwidth. So unfortunately, they can be great, but it might lag where your mouth doesn't meet the sound. So again, you're going to be a very small video in the corner of your screen. So don't worry too much about the virtual background if you can. And then if you continue clicking into that little arrow beside the video screen, you'll see options to touch up appearance. You can change your name, which I forgot to do at the beginning of the session, so you can make sure that your name's displayed. I know if you're like NHBCO, we share a lot of Zoom accounts. Sometimes I log in and I'm a totally different person than I am. So here's where you would change your name. Okay, next and very importantly is the share screen feature. If presenting with co-presenters, clicking the multiple participants can share simultaneously is recommended. You don't have to do it, but might as well just click it just in case. And that way your co-presenter can take over presenting. One thing I'll get to here in a moment, but we do recommend is the pause button is great. It's your friend. If you have multiple presenters, clicking that pause button while you're recording can be a simple, easy transition. So it's not stressful. You can click the pause button, change controls, and then resume recording. And it's as if you edited the video, but you didn't have to. So it just picks up right where it left off, and it's super smooth. Okay. So after you click that share my screen, you will pick the screen that you want to share. Now, it can kind of mess up your settings. So when you do click share, sometimes your Zoom settings get a little, they just get kind of switched around. So we do recommend multiple screens if you have that ability. So that way you can put your presentation on one screen and then you can have all your Zoom settings on the other. And then also, if you do have a video or any type of sound that you want to present, you will have to click this very small share computer sound button. Really easy to forget that. If you click that, then and you play a video, then people will hear. You won't even know it's happening. But if you don't click that, you play the video, you hear it, you think it's fine, it won't have picked up on the actual recording. So just make sure you click that share computer sound if you need it. All right. You will know you're sharing if you see this stop share red button at the top of your screen. So sometimes you're like, am I sharing? Am I not? If you see that, then you're sharing. And that's exactly where you would click to stop the share. Okay, and then finally, and most importantly, which is what we're all here for today, you're going to click that record to the cloud button. It's important to record to the cloud to ensure enough space is available to save your recording. If you record to your computer, then there's a chance that midway through your recording, it stops and your computer doesn't have enough space to save it. And you don't take up space on your computer. So save to the cloud, it goes to the Zoom cloud, you'll grab it in the back end. And we'll go over that. Again, I talked a little bit about pausing. You want to try to avoid pausing too much because it could make the video a little bit choppy, but pause is definitely your friend and stop is not. If you click the stop button before the end of your presentation, you will have to present all over unless you find that, graphic design friend that knows everything about video editing and can merge the two together, but it will create two separate files and you'll need to somehow get them combined. Okay. Now, after you click that stop button, after you're finished recording, you'll get an email notification telling you that your recording's ready, or you can just wait a couple hours and go into the back end of Zoom. You'll click the recording button here on the left side of Zoom, and you'll just find that session recording. Usually it's the last one that you did, but if you share your Zoom with someone else, it might not be. Once you click into the name of your session and your recording, you'll see options. In this example, it's recording number 2 that I had to grab because I did a test recording first. So sometimes I do a minute test recording in the beginning just to make sure everything's working. You'll want to click on the recording here, shared screen with speaker. There's an option where you could download just the videos, just the shared screen, but shared screen with speaker is what I would recommend. And then you click the little download icon and it starts downloading to your computer. Once it's downloaded to your computer, you'll log into the Faculty Service Center, which most of you probably have already done, I hope, already. Here's just the website again, if you need a reference to it. Again, your login and password has been emailed to you and all the faculty communication that you received. If you just can't find that email, if you go to that website and click forgot password, put in your email, it'll shoot you a link to reset your password and then you can get in there. So you'll navigate to the upload session recording tab, upload your video, and just remember that it can't exceed that megabyte maximum, but otherwise then you're done. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, if that was too fast, if you're still not feeling comfortable, we do have the option to help you with the recording. So you'll just go back into that Faculty Service Center, navigate to resources and FAQs, and there's a scheduler link there where you can schedule your recording with us. It will automatically send you a calendar appointment with that Zoom link. And basically what we'll do is we'll do just what we're doing right now. We'll come into Zoom and we'll walk you through all of the steps to make sure that you're sharing your screen, we're recording to the cloud, we'll check your video settings. But again, if you feel comfortable, if you think I can do this, we've recorded my talking demo right now. You can replay it and go back through any of the steps. You can also email us if you have any questions. But with that said, I will turn it over for questions.